this content is for kids.
It's not for kids.
Isn't that what I said?
No, it's not for kids. If you are 13 years or younger, this is not for you. Do I have to kill somebody in order to actually make that point across?
No, man, you don't have to kill
Wait
no
a
one.
second.
Oh, no.
We return to our planet. The High Court may well sentence you to torture.
He likes movies, we like movies. SeptumSin versus the world. SeptumSin versus the world. SeptumSin versus the world. SeptumSin versus the world. I'd buy that for $1.
Greetings! You're watching SeptumSin versus the world. I'm SeptumSin. This is Kotobukijake.
Hey.
We're here to show you what we got.
Show me what you got. I want to see what you got. Oh boy.
We got a lot going on. No pickups next week. We're filming for the Versus Awards. So we're going to do a massive 5-item pickup to supplement that time period. Though I am going to try and get this week I'm going to try and get a review done. I've got the script for Sharkula up. I just got to get it out. And I've got a screener copy of Horror Tales 666 Part 3, which I'll be doing a reaction review video. It's going to be a short one. It's just going to be my first thoughts on it, so that won't take me long to record. But
And if you haven't checked it out, you can watch me suffer humiliating pain with the chip challenge.
So I almost thought about it. I actually almost thought about doing it myself, but then I watched Wet Movie 1 do it, and it's definitely hotter than the last one because he looked like he barely got through this year's. And then...
Oh, he did this year's?
Yeah, he did this year's, and whew, it looked like it hit him hard, and he can tolerate. Like the previous year one, it looked like he was bothering him, but he was like, it's just an annoyance. This was more than an annoyance.
Yeah.
And then Cinestalker, he tried it for the first time. He's like, yeah, the hottest I usually have had is a jalapeno. And then he did it, and
many times hotter than a jalapeno.
But yeah, if you wanna see somebody probably do worse than you did, check that one out.
Cinestalker?
Yes, it's. I'll have to. Maybe I'll show you before we get out, because you'll feel good about yourself. What movie one still outdid you?
Of course he did.
So I'm going to start with a video game. So I'm collecting these Prenny NIS classics, and there's a third volume that came out, and I got it. Which has La Pucelle Ragnarok, which is the PSP version. It was La Pucelle Tactics on the PS2, and then Rhapsody, a musical adventure, I believe, is the more recent upgrade of that too. I've heard Rhapsody is actually not that long. La Pucelle Tactics is pretty decent. It's again like Disgaea, it's comedy and it's tactics based. It's got a little bit of a difference to it than those, but it's still grindy, which is the problem. When you got tactics-based games like that, the grindiness is one of the biggest issues. Though I've heard that Rhapsody, the one I haven't played, because I beat La Pucelle Tactics originally, and that one I've heard is actually a pretty story-heavy, fun adventure that's not really all that much. So, of course, we're doing the unboxing like we did with the other two. So you got this nice, beautiful art piece right here.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you've got this on the back. Now, believe it or not, you can actually get her as a bonus character in Disgaea if you play it right.
Oh.
Yes. So, this is the actual game disc, which will be going into the Switch collection, which is kind of cool. But it has little goodies in it. tell you the truth, I didn't really order the goodies, but it pretty much only came this way. All of them come with a little soundtrack.
That's cool.
Which is kind of a cool thing. I sometimes play the soundtrack, so they're pretty fun. And then, because of the full cover manual, well, actually not manual, art book.
Right.
I mean, which is pretty cool, like little profiles.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool there. So, fun stuff. So I'm looking forward to digging into that one year.
NIS definitely makes a pretty product, that's for sure.
They do. NIS is good. Unfortunately, they make products that go out of print. So
Yeah.
I wanted to get these as they come out so that I'm not later going down the road like a couple years from now and they're like, oh yeah, this is about $300 now. I'm like,
Yeah.
much like trying to get an original copy of Disgaea would have been today. So it's still pretty cool. Alright.
I need to play this guy. I have it on my Steam account. I'm just...
You have it, but you don't play.
Yeah, I know. I've seen it. It's a fun show. So, speaking of companies known for making a pretty product, I mentioned last week that I'm finally getting around to presenting my Criterion pickups from the July sale. Unfortunately, I will not get the last one that I had ordered from Amazon. They told me to expect it at the end of September. And then they pulled my number when I had no money to cover it. And even though the account was updated, money was there, they still claimed, oh, we can't take, oh, we can't get your number, oh, we can't, oh, we're going to cancel it. Like, I know at least one of those messages of your account doesn't work was after the money was in the account.
Yeah.
And I don't know what they were doing. I don't know what geniuses they had operating their machinery there. But whatever the case, I won't be getting Secrets and Lies this time around. But I do have a few more Criterion items, and that's what I'm going to start with today. The first, I think it's my first and last pickups of the month. I did the big one last week, but I started and ended the month with two small pickups. And the first one I'm going to start with is actually an upgrade. This was one that when it came out, I was like, okay, I'm going to be getting that. I have it on DVD. I haven't actually looked at the DVD to see if I'm losing any bonus features, but I think I had a fairly basic edition, but the Criterion edition is going to be awesome, and that is the classic film called The Great Escape. Steve McQueen starring film, directed by John Sturges. How did I forget that? Okay, directed by John Sturges. You got Steve McQueen, James Garner, Richard Attenborough, Charles Bronson, Donald Pleasance, James Coburn. How's that for a cast?
Yeah, that's mine.
And that's that's a pretty nice addition too. Well known as one of the great action films, widely considered one of the great war films. That's got a good number of bonus features there. Like, even if I lose a couple, that's a good number of bonus features. And I don't adore this film to the level some people do, so I might be willing to sacrifice a couple. But regardless, this is a nice upgrade anytime, and hopefully a space saver, like I said, hopefully. And I figured I would go ahead and grab it. I'm been slow about my upgrade. Oh yeah, the Colonel Bogey March is in that, isn't it? Of course, it's not the only movie known for that, but
it's the one I think of whenever
I think Bridge on the River Kwai is the one that is usually associated with, for me at least. And then, of course, Spaceballs, because they directly lifted that. But Good film. I'm still waiting for Spaceballs to get its Criterion release. You know,
that'll be one I upgrade.
And actually, they haven't done The Bridge on the River Kwai yet, have they? That's one that needs one.
And some of these, like I've got that big old set of Oscar winners that's there, so it's a hard one for me to try and upgrade from because it's already a pretty high quality one. If they did a set like that again, but Blu-ray, I would do it just because Blu-rays are more durable. But speaking of sets that are so cool that I have not decided to upgrade, we're going back to a blast from the past that I know I haven't shown on this channel before, and that is the Alfred Hitchcock, the other collection.
Ah, that is a cool set.
So this is the Masterpiece Collection. Now, as you can see, it's not too badly rubbed on my version, because I got a brand new one.
It's fuzzy.
Came out.
Well, velvety.
Yeah, very velvety. So you can see that there. It is a pretty cool, pretty nifty collection.
I think they re-released that with North by Northwest, but it's not as fancy looking.
Yeah, they've got a Blu-ray collection, but it's nowhere near as fancy.
No.
And that's the reason why I didn't bother with the Blu-ray collection. Though there is a part of me that's like, just keep this and just put the Blu-rays in it. But that would kind of bother me.
Yeah, it would.
So this kind of opens up.
Yeah.
You got it too, so. I don't know, you might have upgraded, I don't know.
No, I kept that set. It's
a
cool
hard
set.
one to, like, do. Because you've got some pretty cool ones here. You got Frenzy, and what was this one? Family Plot, which is a fun one.
This is his last film, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And it was basically, he basically spoofed himself at the end.
Very good disc placement. For a set like this, the people tend to try and go the cheap way and make them into sleeves. Now, they did not go the cheap way with this. They actually went all about. You got the birds, you got Torn Curtain, we got Marnie, we got Topaz.
That's the weakest part of the collection there.
Marnie was upsetting too to me. I don't know why. I just did not like
I thought Marnie could have been great, but I didn't like Tippi Hedren's performance.
Well, that's the thing is Marnie, I felt like the character lacked something. She definitely lacked
Well, it was all about mental illness, so I know you've got your standards for that.
Then this one here, which has Vertigo, The Man Who Knew Too Much, the second version, and The Trouble with Harry, which I like.
Vastly underrated film.
And Psycho, not the remake.
That's probably the best of the bunch.
That'd be funny if they had the Alfred Hitchcock collection, and instead of original Psycho, they had the shot-for-shot remake that was done. Just to fuck with people.
Yeah, that would. Actually, you know what would make an interesting Criterion set? The original Psycho, the shot-for-shot remake, and Hitchcock, which was all about the making of Psycho. And that was a good movie.
It was. So we got Saboteur, Shadow of a Doubt, Rope, and Rear Window.
Rope is another underrated one.
Which, by the way, other than Harvey, was I think it was my second Jimmy Stewart film.
And it's an atypical Jimmy Stewart film. You will be surprised if you come to it blind.
Because those two were my very first exposures to Jimmy Stewart, and I hated him for many years.
You hated him based on Harvey?
Keep in mind, I was a high school kid. I chose him and Woody Allen to do a report on. I thought Woody Allen was going to be hilarious all the time, and I didn't realize what Woody Allen movies were really about back then. And Jimmy Stewart, I just thought, well, he was the one I was assigned, so I hated that just on principle because I didn't like being assigned it.
Oh, it's kind of a shame they never did one together. But anyway, my turn.
Yep.
So next up, this, like I said, was an upgrade of an old movie. They also had a brand new release, a
downgrade of a new movie.
Well, maybe it may be one that will need to be upgraded because, as we've said before, it's annoying when Criterion is the first run release of a new movie, because it hasn't really had time to marinate in the public consciousness. It was also annoying that this one got released right at the time out mark for our submissions for the Versus Awards.
Dope.
And I didn't get to see it in time, and no one else bothered to watch it, so it's not on our Versus Awards contention. I'm probably going to watch and go, damn it! And but it was a critical and Oscar darling and an Oscar nomination called Worst Person in the World. Yeah, which sounds quite lovely. It is directed by Joachim Trier, and it is, I want to say it's a Danish film? Norwegian. Okay, it's actually a Norwegian film, which it might be good. It might be something that can push Bunny the Killer thing a little lower. No, that was a Finnish film. Okay. Now, I've seen a couple Norwegian films, but not many. I'm still looking for something to get Bunny the Killer thing out of the top 5 for Finnish films.
Yeah.
But at any rate, this was supposedly a really good movie. It again though, look, not a lot of bonus features there. It's about what you'd expect from a basic collector's edition of a new release, but still, Criterion release of a highly acclaimed film. I'm very annoyed we didn't get to see it in time for the awards contention.
It wouldn't have won anyway.
You never know. You might watch it and go, holy crap, that was the best foreign film ever.
That may be, but I never actually, but none of my picks didn't win, so.
Right. Well, and we had, 4 people voting in that category? Mm-hmm. That was a weak category. But anyway, still, worth a look, I'm sure, and I'm glad to have it.
I got a copy too, but I doubt I'm going to get to it anytime soon since I'm going alphabetically. So this next one is an Evan Jacobs film. It is #Boxing Time.
Oh.
I kind of like that cover because he looks like kind of a slimeball promoter. So again, it's Boxing Time. In this comedy starring Evan Jacobs as Art Benefeld, a boxing promoter who is in over his head with life. He's behind on child support, or any kind of support, for his daughter. His boxing events are replete with problems, and he is being leaned on to fix a bout at everything at one of those club shows. Despite all of this, Art is doing everything that he can to be a better person and failing miserably.
Oh, sounds like the title of this one could apply to that character in a sense.
So, I mean, I don't remember what I thought of this, other than I didn't think it was one of the better ones.
Mm-hmm.
I can't tell you whether I thought it was like super good or not, because, well, it's one of those that kind of is more of a monologue-y type film.
Mm-hmm.
So you really just see him. But you get some good shots of boxing arenas and stuff like that, and it wasn't bad, so I'd say it's about middling for his stuff. I wanted everything in the collection. I think at the end of the year, I'll do an Evan Jacobs video towards December when I know he's not releasing any more films, and then do a, hey, this is the Evan Jacobs collection so far.
And he'll message you like a week before and go, hey man, I got 3 new projects coming up.
They're all going to be released right before New Year.
I don't know, with his work schedule, it seems like it. But anyway, next up, we're going back in time. As I've said on this program, I've made something of a tradition of these Criterion sales of buying a film by one of the big stars of the silent era. I've worked my way through all the Charles Chaplin films they've released so far, and so far they have been really dragging their feet on Buster Keaton. They've only got 1 or 2 of his out, I think. So I'm kind of saving him for last to see what happens. So right now I'm working on Harold Lloyd. And arguably his second most famous film. I would argue his most famous one's probably Safety Last. But arguably his second most famous one is this film, The Freshman, which gets a really nice boxed treatment from Criterion. And it's a Blu-ray DVD twofer, which is kind of nice. Very nice bit of bonus features, but you kind of expect it from this sort of thing. And that's got, a couple of documentaries there, some of his short films, which is always nice. I love how they include the short films on these. I'm not sure how close I'm getting to the end. I think there's one or two additional Lloyd Criterion films. I'd really like them I'd like to see them do like some full-on box sets for all three of them. Chaplin, Lloyd,
cool.
You
could do a shorts collection.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
Collection.
That's what I was going to say. Like a box film of their shorts, and maybe a couple of the lesser-known features or whatever. Of course, when I run through the three of them, I got to figure out how to keep the tradition going. I may just get a silent film each time, something like that. But it's a nice way to make sure I'm adding some variety to the collection. But I think I've seen this one. I couldn't swear to it, but I think I have. And I feel like I enjoyed it. What little I've seen of Harold Lloyd, I've enjoyed. So, and this is not a long one, 76 minutes. So hopefully I'll get some time for it sooner or later.
One that I need to do is I just need to say heck with it and upgrade the Circus to Blu-ray and just get the Criterion. It's just, I've got such a nice one. It's it's a hard one to upgrade.
Right.
And some of the special features are not on the Criterion one. You know how it is, tough decisions.
Oh, yeah.
So, one that was not a tough decision is I got a decent chunk of a show for $20 on auction, unopened.
Nice.
And that show is Bob's Burgers.
Oh.
So, we're going to take a look at these. These are the 20th century, Fox, back at the time, releases.
Yeah, now it's just, 20th Century Studios or something?
Yep, so these are the, basically Canadian releases, but that's season 1. $20.
Yeah.
Season 2. There you go. Because I have to put them back. Season 3. How far will I go? Season 4.
Just throw it.
Season 5.
I sense a theme with these covers.
I know. Season 6. Season 7. Season 8. Season 9. And finally, Season 10. So there's only one other season. Season 11 is out on DVD right now, so I just need to get that. Season 12 is likely to be released because they've been pretty steady, as you can tell, on their releases.
And the movie is out.
Yep. So it's kind of cool that they are doing this. So I'm pretty sure they'll keep doing it, and hopefully I'll get the complete series. It's not super chunky, but it's chunky for the number, but it's still a pretty fun thing. So you got like 10 seasons of Bob's Burgers. I did not like Bob's Burgers when it first came out. I thought it was silly.
It is silly, but in a good way.
But it's about Bob and his family. He has this burger restaurant that he opens, and he and his family run it, and they're on hard times a lot. But they live in the life in a nice, slice of life way. And it is a really fun series. It is enjoyable. So if you haven't checked out an episode of Bob's Burgers, you should. I mean, Hulu has it, and it's relatively cheap. So, and technically, it's a Disney. So does that mean that she's a Disney princess?
Well, technically, it would be probably her.
They're all Disney princesses.
Well, yeah, that's true. All three of them are in their own way.
But yes.
And Teddy, of course, is also.
Teddy's the prince. He's the handsome prince.
Anyway, yeah, I've been seeing a lot of that show. It's good times. And so, like I said, we got some Harold Lloyd here. So what's the best possible thing I could pair with Harold Lloyd that would make so much sense you would go, why would you not get them together? This will be my last Criterion for the month. And it is the movie directed by the Hughes brothers called Menace to Society. Slightly different film. This one is supposedly a pretty solid film. You got Jada Pinkett in there in her early days, Charles S. Dutton, bunch of other folks. Pretty solid bit of bonus features on there. Pretty good overall. I've actually never seen this. You know, it's one of those ones I've known by reputation pretty much since it came out. Just never got around to it. And I was kind of looking for something that would be a good pairing with this. And I saw this, I'm like, okay, how can I not? But it is one I needed to have in the collection. I was actually very pleased when Criterion announced the release for this one because it's kind of an odd choice for them, you know? Yeah. And it's nice when they swing for the fences, if you will. And like I said, they gave it a solid treatment. Mm-hmm. So it's, I'm glad. It's kind of weird it has such a thin box compared to the others, but they do that occasionally. And it does have a die-cut cover, which is kind of cool. They do that occasionally. But, yeah, it's good times.
I'm thinking this is supposed to be my last because it's 5, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I got one Animu.
Ah.
I miscounted to 6, but we'll do the 6th one next time.
Okay.
So this one's an Animu movie.
An Animu.
And that one is The Boy and the Beast. Now, this is a really good one. This is, what, Mamoru Hosoda?
Mamoru Hosoda, yes.
So, not the best of his works, but certainly a really good one. Mm-hmm. And though I would say Mirai was better done, this one is a lot easier to watch.
The Boy and the Beast is one of his most populist films, no doubt about it. It's pretty much a shonen movie, and but it's a good one.
Because essentially, this kid gets kind of lost in this other dimension where you've got these beast creatures, and gets adopted by, well, this really strong beast.
Well, he kind of adopts.
Yeah. So, and essentially they're getting along in the world, and yes, violence is necessary. Mm-hmm. It's a fun one. I'm not going to try and ruin it too much because it is a fun, fantastical adventure. If you liked films like, say, Summer Wars is a good example of one that was not that different in a way. Mm-hmm. Even Belle in some ways, even though Belle is a lot more... I don't think Belle understands what it is. But it wants to be a lot of things.
It wants to be a Disney princess.
Yes. Well, actually, yeah, I could see Belle as a Disney princess.
I always felt like he did Wolf Children, which was like a love letter to mothers, and then I felt like this was more of like for fathers. Yeah. It was sort of the counterpart.
It'd be a good twofer to do.
Yeah.
Like a Father's Day film, and then you got the Mother's Day film. Mm-hmm. All right, your last ones.
All right, one that you don't want is a father figure. I picked this up on a whim.
That was going to be my last one, but yeah.
I picked this one up the other day, almost on a whim, but, I was kind of jonesing to have something new in the collection, a little bit of fresh blood. And I'm still waiting for my Right Stuff order, which I've paid 3/4 of a very large amount of money for, and I'm still waiting. But anyway, but I've been looking at this one for a while, and it's been at Walmart, and I've been like, okay, I gotta get it, and it's been holding very steady in price. But a show that I enjoyed a lot when I was a kid. In fact, I enjoyed it more than the movie. And as I've gotten older, I've come to love the movie, so I really hope the show holds up. We'll see. But like I said, someone you would not want as a father figure is Beetlejuice. This is, of course, the animated film that came out, or animated show that came out during the time when everything was turned into an animated show. And, of course, you got Beetlejuice, and you got your Winona Ryder character. What was her name again?
Lydia.
Lydia, yeah. And their hijinks. There were a lot of hijinks in this one.
Nothing like the movie at all.
Nice Shout release. I was impressed when Shout put this out. And I like that they did it in one nice, solid little package. Like I said, I kind of drug my feet for a while, but I finally went ahead and grabbed it. And I don't know when I'll get back to this, but it'll be nice to revisit. I hope it holds up. You know, have you gone back to it since you got it?
No, oddly enough. I mean, I got it when it finally reduced because it was a ridiculous $75 when it first came out.
Was it 75?
Yeah, it was 75.
It was going for 25 for the longest time.
Yeah, I mean, it reduced over time. I've got a couple of shout sets that were...
Yeah, it was 75 when it came out.
Some were like,
that's why I didn't pre-order it. Yeah, I'd forgotten that.
It's so different from the film. I mean, Beetlejuice is kind of a good guy character in this, which is interesting. Lydia is somehow paired with Beetlejuice, which you would probably not do officially like that in the movieverse, especially considering he tried to basically underage marry her. And then you're missing the two title characters from the movies.
The two title characters?
Well, I mean, not title characters, but the two main characters.
Right.
You got Alec Baldwin and what's the other one? But
yeah.
So but very different, but still very fun. I mean, it's definitely a kid's show, but has a little bit of a twist to it. So with that being said, short but sweet. But hey, we got some pretty cool ones on there. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like button, hit that subscribe, and of course share. But we'll see you on the next one.
Bye.
Bye-bye.